those other special service districts, but the next line says, to facilitate full development of the area within the municipality and expand the infrastructure, that's those special service districts, but comma, services and facilities. So I have asked, how many more police is it going to take us? How many more staff is it going to take us? How many more snowplows is it going to take us to service that area? And I'm still waiting respectfully.
So you're saying assuming every ounce of that annexation?
I said at certain build-out levels. This was a very preliminary study. This was not a consultant study. This is not a feasibility study, as I also studied in the rest of the state code. This is something that we need to do in developing and adopting the annexation policy plan, and that's what I was asking for. The backward-looking study to say we have X amount of people in our city, we have X amount of snowplows, X amount of police, X amount of city staff, or FTEs, right, full-time employee purpose. And then we can take what density is projected in the North Village, or what density is projected currently up in Jordanelle, and we can say, okay, at this build out, we would need X amount of police, X amount of snowplows, etc., right? Engineers, whatever it takes, because that's just a very preliminary study using real figures that we have in our city right now. I was hopeful that our staff could come up with that in a day of just looking at current FTEs, current budget, current staffing, current services, and be able to give us some kind of an idea of this urban services needs.
How relevant is that when we're talking about area that the developer says?
It's relevant for this. It's relevant for this because we do have an idea of how much property taxes would be obtained if that whole area annexes, or the different build-out levels annex. All right, and we do have an idea. Well, there's going to be fees involved here too, right? Subdivision fees and planning fees and so forth, right? I mean, that's where it gets a little more complicated, but it's not beyond the ability of our staff to say, okay, we're going to project, we're going to need this many snowplows, this many police, this many in the planning department, potentially at X amount of population increases, okay? And that's where I'm saying, that's where we say, okay, here's what we need, here's what the property taxes are potentially going to be at given current levels. This is what an estimate of fees are. Does it equal? Okay, now why do I say that? Because in the feasibility studies to incorporate for a town or any kind of municipality or to do the annexation, the feasibility studies say is what's coming out, or I should say, what the revenues coming in versus the expenditures that are likely to happen. Are they within 5%? I'm not saying we have to be within 3%, like the state code says for those other things. But we still want to see, is it going anywhere equal? We hope it does. It should. It should. But we need some numbers. We can't just say, we don't think that there won't be any tax increases to our current citizens. Let's get some real numbers here.
Why would you want a developer to pay the fee that they require for an annexation? Real actual numbers.
Everything changed.
Staff in the middle of everything else and give us an estimate. When you know, you guys get it over. You're the ones up. And number one, just a minute. The people who own land, they already have been given the rights to build. This thing's happening whether it's in the city or not in the city. If they get those urban services and they're not in the city, you know who pays for it? Our county property taxes. So they're getting the services and they're paying a county tax. Well, those people in the city are paying a county tax, so we're helping. And when the sheriff says, gosh, we need more people, we all pay more county tax. But then in the city, we also pay a city tax for municipal services. In that kind of urban development, which our annexation, the state law requires us to justify why we're not including urban development within a quarter mile of our boundaries, because urban services, it's cheaper to provide in the cities. Cities are designed for those kind of developments. So if people own this land and they say, which has already happened in one of the areas in our policy, they say, this isn't happening in the city, we're doing something else. So they can create their own city, and we don't get to decide deliberately with all the information. We decide by default if they decide to do something else. We don't get to decide as a city. And so this is why it's important for the city to be able to say, we want this data, we want to look into it, we want someone else to pay for it. Not our staff, who's already the fastest growing nation of our size, who's already doing a ton of work to try and get all the information possible. I don't understand why we want to, how long do you want to continue to analyze this? Or before we say, we don't have a choice anymore, because if they're their own cities, they can do whatever density they want, they can do whatever enrichment they want, we have no say. Or if they're in the county, we just subsidize their services.
Let's just take a minute and just draw back and let's just follow the
Okay,
state.
hold on, you have to come up here and speak, okay?
Can I just answer your arguments? I understand that when there is an actual petition or an actual incorporation, that the feasibility has to follow the state code, right here. And I'm saying that is done by a professional, an economist,
Yes.
and they will come up with certainly their own figures and they have their own parameters.
We can have whole meetings, one meeting on transportation.
I feel like the reason why it's in the state code, in developing, considering, and adopting the plan in the first place, we need to look at some creative these things. And right now, we're just going to have a generic statement. This will not set first in any way whatsoever. And there's going to be property taxes that can come in. I feel like that is pure basic when it comes to urban services and full development of the area. Trying to figure out what we're actually getting ourselves into. So I'm not asking for professional study. I am asking that for the expertise that our staff already should have with FTEs. How many snowplows, how many police? You see, I'm not asking for a 100-page study. I'm saying this is data that they should already have right at their fingertips to say, okay, when it comes in with 5,000 more people, this is the kind of staff we'll need. And looks like the property taxes will be this. I'm not asking.
That's not very accurate
access
though.
to
Looks
this.
like the property taxes and we think we'll need.
I know, and
it is.
and the development would have been there too. But I'm saying we have to have more than just a sentence that says there will not be any impact, zero, to the existing city. I think there needs to be more analysis than just that one.
So yeah, you start taking
I mean, we've been talking about this for a day or a day and a half on Facebook, but it seems like you're saying the developers will come forward and decide what they want to do, what they want to build, where they want to build it. It's their land, I understand that. But then we'll get the money out of it, we'll figure out all these things, which you said, why should we do it? I'd say, number one, because the code requires it. Number two, I think we need to decide if we want to decide how that city should look, where the roads should be, and where certain activities should happen. Or just let each developer decide how their little piece will be, and we'll have a mishmash or whatever the developers want.
No, what we were saying is that we would go along with what the county had already negotiated with them, because they already know what they're entitled to from the county, and they've already worked all these things out, and the county has asked us to say, you keep it the same. haven't heard anything different from that.
Well, let me have Tony, if you would, clarify something that was said yesterday.
Okay.
If we annex anybody, right now, we don't have any zone, we don't have any code, because the county code would no longer apply, and we haven't put any of that in place. If they want to annex on the top of Sorensen's Mountain, what zone is that? We haven't even discussed it. What would we want the impact? What would we want the density? If they came in tomorrow and we decide, oh yeah, let's annex them and let them pay for the studies and all that, they have no zone. The county mentioned yesterday that all of this area we put in our annexation plan is without zoning. The minute we can annex it comes in raw. We haven't done the studies to see what we want it to be.
Will you let Tony respond?
Sure.
So what we've talked about with the county is that we would adopt their codes. And that's called the North Village Code that they revised and adopted I think last year. We have a copy of it. We are going through it right now to see what issues are relevant for us to maybe look at a little differently. And the Planning Commission is going to be holding a public hearing on that in the second meeting in June, instead of May 24th. So you, as a council, you'll have that pretty soon.
Well, the mayor commented that this is so big and we don't know and this and why should we spend the money? If you'll recall, I mean, I didn't get the votes, I appreciate that, but I did make the motion that we reduce the annexation zone to the North Village. Maybe take a piece that we can chew and handle and understand. And you said we got all this to the North Village, you've said it twice now. What about the mountain on Sorensen's property? Have we got all that for that?
Yes.
So we're all ready to go with this whole piece.
Well, may I respectfully just interject here? In our own city code, okay, Section 18:116, it says, "All land hereafter annexed to the city shall be zoned consistent with the Heber City general plan." We have not changed our general plan to any of these new codes. You see what I mean? I feel like we're kind of putting the cart before the horse consistently here, and I'm just wondering, how do we zone without the zones or without the change to our general plan? How do we put this annexation policy plan in place unless we follow our own code here? Mark, here's the
Okay. Appreciate the debate. I'm getting a little confused here with regard to annexation plan policy and when people come in for annexation. When you have an annexation plan policy, all you're saying is in our plan, our general plan, we anticipate or we might annex into this group. Part of the reason we do that is to protect from infiltration from the county or from other people. It doesn't mean that you're annexing anything. And I'm confident that Tony has followed all the parameters for an annexation plan, right? Some of you have been listing or indicating and putting on the record that you don't think we followed it without having talked with me, without having talked with Tony right now. And so what I would want you to do is come and we'll sit down and take a look at it, note it. But it appears that some of you are confusing the annex. It may, I'd like to take a look at it because this is the first time I've heard of it. Annexation requirements with annexation plan. You know, this is okay. Note it. Then let's talk about it and take a look at it. But to have Tony up here and then be covering him with questions on things that he hasn't. That
I agree
that
with this.
that
Short notice, I said that.
right. And I'm just telling you, it is unfair to staff to put up there and pepper them when you're prepared and asking them on questions, and I haven't taken a look at it because you're getting concerned citizens, and they have a legitimate concern. This is an annexation plan policy. There's a referendum, that the policy's going, it's great. To your question, when you have an annexation plan, now, we are in the strongest position that you can be at. If somebody comes in and then says, I want to be annexed into the city. I'm in your plan, I want to be annexed into the city. The city has no obligation to annex anybody until all of these things are determined. Notwithstanding the fact that they're in the plan, the city can say, and you are at your strongest negotiating position power at this point. You can say, well, we want this zone. They don't come in, it would be, you raise a good point, but it's not like that. They don't come in just with raw land with no zoning. At that point, if Joe Q comes in and says, I want to be annexed in, the city sits down, they talk with the planner, and they say, well, very good, why do you want to be in? We go through all of these things. You have a developer pay for it instead of Mark Smedley and all the other citizens of Heber City to pay for some things for the people of the county. Then at that time, the city says, well, let's talk about what zone we want to put in there. And at that point, you determine the zone. If the city doesn't decide what zone they want, guess what? The city doesn't annex. You don't have to annex anything that is in the annexation plan. You retain control. But what you do in the alternative is you protect and put your borders out in case anybody wants to infiltrate upon you and put the burden on the city. And you can decrease that plan if you want to. So they are legitimate concerns, but we're talking about things that are far afield and way that just aren't a real concern at this point. And I don't know that, I don't have any specific grounds where the city has not followed code. I want
Give them a
the
copy
record
of
to be
that.
very clear. Very clear. Noted, thank you. This is the first time. You know, we're going to take a look at it. I want to take a look at it. If something has been missed, we correct it, right? This isn't a conspiracy where we're trying to intentionally do things. And to come in and then without having legal look at it or staff and make a reputation and allege that it hasn't been followed without having us take a look at it is concerning. And so we want to take a look at it and determine that. But those fears that you're worried about, these are legitimate concerns. I would be worried that this is an annexation plan policy rather than annexation.
That actually policy plan.
We'll take a look at it, and if we haven't taken care of, we'll talk about it. But this is the first time I've seen it, first time I've heard the allegation that we haven't followed the plan.
All right, I think we're going to move on. This isn't a hearing on annexation.
Can I just make one more point, though, before we end this discussion? Again, I'm saying there's a referendum petition out here, and I've waited for 15, 20 minutes to discuss a very complicated discussion and an issue here. And what I'm asking is, we have had a city council person at the very beginning of this meeting say he wants to rescind his vote. I think it's only fair for the citizens that have come here and have shown concern, and there's still a debate about this annexation policy plan. We've just witnessed it for the last 15, 20 minutes. But there needs to be a motion for the city council to take a formal vote on this and rescind it. Your city council person has very courageously said that at the beginning of this meeting. And so I'm asking you to please, for the citizens' sake who are still upset about this whole situation, to know what the intent is of the city council tonight with the declaration of one of your city council members that you actually take a vote on this very soon and rescind the vote so that you can have these discussions with your attorney and your planner and all these things that you've been discussing for the last 15, 20 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we have also had citizens here other nights that have had different opinions, and I don't think we can make a motion of something that's not on our agenda.
It's not on the agenda, and you need another, so that's right. I mean, it's just not proper before the council. It's not an agenda. That would be illegal, and we would get into a lot of trouble, and it would upset other people. We just don't, in the Heber City, we don't do that sort of thing. We don't make a motion on something that's not on the agenda. I advise you against it. Doesn't mean you won't do it, but I wouldn't do it.
Okay, well, let's just draw back and follow the state code then. Let's start with that.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we need a motion. I just thought we always just decided when we can meet next without a motion.
No, let me address that too. Let me address that. Good point. It needs to put it on the agenda. It has to have another, the mayor can do it, if the mayor wants to do it, but you need another, you need one other member of the council.
That is not what our policy says, Mr. Smedley. It says any council member can ask for something to be put on the agenda. But I will support being on the agenda, so there's the two.
And it's not on the agenda right now.
No, we know that.
Right. So we can't do it right now.
Right.
So
We need to have a legal look at it because we've got an ordinance that's been approved, but it's not gone into effect because of the referendum.
okay. Then we'll have a legal look at it, and then we'll be able to put it on the next agenda if that's the decision. All right, number one.
In a couple weeks, or?
Council minutes for April 5th, 2018. I will accept a motion. If anybody has any comments.
I'm sorry to poke this bear. I'm just looking at our rules right here. Everybody can see rules of order, okay? Special meetings and emergency meetings consistent with state law. Special meetings may be called at any time by the mayor or two or more members of the city council. As he says, the city recorder shall post the notice. Special meetings may be held at any location as long as such meetings are conducted in accordance with state code. At least 3 hours notice will be given of any special meeting. That's not even a 24-hour notice. And if the order of the special meeting is to be entered into the minutes of that meeting. Just thought I would clarify.
That's fair. We just have to remember, we have had a public hearing. There have been other people in here expressing the complete opposite opinion, so we have to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to be a part of the process. And that's why we can't make a motion when this item was not on the agenda tonight.
So all the two of us at least are asking to be on the next meeting, which will be the 17th.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks from now. That doesn't help the citizens in the referendum at all. I'm sorry for being insubordination here, but 2 weeks is not fair to the citizens of this community.
It can be done with 3 hours notice.
Yes, you read the code.
Okay, we're going to go off with our meeting now.
We don't have anything on the agenda that we can make. Now, obviously, you know where the council stands and what they've said, but we're not going to make a motion and break the law. We're not doing that.
That's not what they did.
No, they're not.
They said they want to put it on a meeting,
Then they'll.
As soon-
They can do that.
so you can schedule a meeting outside of this meeting tonight. You will schedule a meeting within the next few days to deal with
The
it.
two council members have.
They can do that.
Just read it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, item number 1, approval.
And they'll be notified, we'll be notified of it,
Yeah, we always notify our meetings through the public notice process.
which is,
And Utah public notice on the internet, and it also goes through on the city website. You can always find the notices through there. I hope the council will decide to give enough notice that everyone in the community will have the opportunity, not just the people who are here tonight. All right, item number 1.